All right, I'm gonna restart NavG. Let's just all,
Check them out about it, AutoXY.
yeah. Let's just all hope it comes back in a good, fun way. We still have the position in high pack and everything, and the target's in high pack, so we're fine. Okay. You're out of auto XY, yeah. Okay. What's that? Oh. Jake is what we call messing around.
Look at that.
Hey, what's that? Is that a new TriTech view?
Yeah.
New software?
Mid-dive.
Or
Mid-dive.
something that you did?
That's what,
Did you just make this up new? You just coded this up mid-dive?
no. Downloaded it from the TriTech website.
Oh, okay.
Upgraded the firmware of the device on the vehicle. I didn't do that. Just kidding.
He's off the rails, everybody.
No, I did notice that Gemini software does get a lot better returns with the seeking sonar.
Yeah, we're using their old software.
You ever play around with the color schemes?
What?
The color schemes on that software? There's a bunch.
Yeah, I saw it.
Oh, I've seen it. It's in the cabinet in Riggy. In white tote, middle right.
You guys are going to try to get some dual ship footage there? Oh, that's cool.
Anyone got a drone on board? It'd be really cool to get a
Yeah,
drone shot.
that's what they're talking
Oh,
about.
that's what they're talking
yeah,
about.
Yeah.
Ah,
Get the two ships next to each other.
yeah. I thought about bringing mine out with me, but it's not my job.
The footage that Jose got of the whales was really good. I don't know if you saw his videos.
Do you want this quick? Let me just double
I haven't
check.
moved.
Yeah, you're okay to go back in auto XY.
Oh yeah, this is sweet. Shows a range and bearing. When you move your cursor over the screen. You have your simple, just gain and range.
It's designed to be on a tablet, so it actually is extremely intuitive.
Super user friendly.
I think you can integrate it with your INS as well.
That's sweet.
Did you find the color schemes?
No, I haven't gotten into that yet.
Uh,
We usually go 180. Logging. Screencast.
yeah, you can send it to
Ooh,
other devices.
cool. Cool. Ellipse. Sweet.
Super seeking. So yeah, you can take two different. It will,
Configure auxiliary inputs or something.
yep.
Huh. Nice. Yeah, I don't know how to do can't find color.
It's weird. There used to be a color scheme. Oh,
Oh,
there
there
it
it is.
is. I was like, dude, there's definitely a color scheme in there.
Fire. Fire 2.
Fire is what we use. I like Fire 3.
Grayscale. Gray to yellow. This is most similar to what we had, but
I like Fire 3. Purple.
just wait till Dan gets his hands on it.
Think you hit F11. Nope. Not working. So you can go full screen on it and it will take up the entire, it looks a lot better. What was the hotkey for full screen?
Is it F11?
I thought it was.
Oh wait, it probably says it. F11, yeah.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
And it should stay in full screen with this when you click on something on this screen. Now we just need a target.
Sweet.
And you're in ultra resolution and it's moving pretty fast.
I know, right?
We do a log recently. Looks like about an hour ago.
Yeah, we should probably do one.
Just to piss off Dan. Oh, it's actually going in correct time. Good. What are we doing right now? Rating?
We're waiting for the cable ship innovator to get into position and start dropping the gear.
Stand by for cable innovator. And our gauges look like 5. S- 2.5. Where does he see 2.5?
Which one?
Oh, I guess that main is 2.5. That's not good.
It's been steady though, steady there.
It's because we're deep. It compresses at depth.
Maroon? Diamond.
It looks like 40%, don't it? I think it's funny how Dan was getting on me earlier about not doing logs. And there's been consistent log all the way through.
He's also talking to himself when he says that stuff.
Yeah, but he was talking on science party line. I was like, I did the USB release on Surface. Exactly 1 hour from when it was needed from the last one. Did he go through and retime it? He went through and put all new, he changed the times to local? I think he did.
No, those ones are still the same.
Oh, okay. Oh, well, right here's where it changed. I'm gonna run outside and get a
100
picture of that
meters?
ship real quick.
1 football field?
Yeah, they said they were moving into the final position, which would be 110 meters from us.
Yeah.
I don't think you're on, Brandon.
Oh, sorry about that.
Yeah.
Said, is there a limit to how close we can get to the other ship? Is this already getting kind of tight?
Yeah, so the captains have established, I think 100 meters is how close they'd like to get.
And for our purposes, we don't need to get any closer.
Yeah, well, in order for that to work for us to go view, I mean, so they're going to be at times, like now, they'll be, lowering something off their deck, and we would like to see it close to the seafloor, and we're 100 meters away, and you know that the tether between Atalanta and Hercules is only 30 meters. So in order to, plus you've got just the variability of where we are on the ship. We're on the aft of the ship, and whether or not that's 100 meters away. So in order to approach it, Hercules actually has to drive and drag Atalanta towards it. So we'll be kind of in the same type of mode we are when we're in launch and recovery, where the Atalanta has to turn around so the tethers are facing each other, and we just drag Atalanta towards that target. It gives us a visual, it gives us a bit of safety that we can kind of drive away and get out of there, but it does not, it's not great for maneuverability of Hercules.
Yeah.
So Herc has a lot less. Thankfully, we don't need to do much. We'll just be visualizing stuff. So, but you can imagine Hercules is floating freely, but once it's being dragged, or once it has a large weight on the back of it that it's actively thrusting to try to bring somewhere, you've got a lot less maneuverability.
What about the cable in between Nautilus and Atalanta? Is there any risk of that? Like that's, not something you can monitor all the way down. Is, there any risk of that coming into contact with the mud mat or anything like that?
Yeah, I mean, in an ideal world, so kind of why we're being so cautious and why there's all these lines of communication and everything is the worst thing one of the worst things that could happen right now is if we were to entangle our cable with their cable. You can imagine that would be a difficult fix.
Yeah.
So we want to make sure that we're keeping that cable clear of where their cable is in the water column, so they don't entwine. As far as any risk of that kind of operation, we were just talking about it. So if you think about we're 2,600 meters deep, and if we drag that cable in any direction just from the power of Hercules, we've got it hanging off the A-frame in the back of our ship, and we can't move it enough, that angle of 100 or so meters versus the 2,600 meters isn't gonna, even if it was a straight line, that angle likely wouldn't come in contact with the ship, with our ship. But then there's also, it's not a straight line, it's kind of a curve. So we're dragging probably the bottom portion of that cable. It's kind of curving. If we were in shallower water, that would be a concern, where you could drive the vehicle in a way that the cable would be at risk of running into the aft of the ship, catching on something. Video, do you have any more pan right on that cable innovator view? Just want to see if that aft, okay, thank you. I don't know if they run it over that A-frame or just off the,
The A-frame has an ROV attached to it.
okay, so it's then just the, off of the red portion in the back.
The rear.
Yeah. I guess they just have that out of the way for ops purposes.
Can video zoom in anymore on that? See what kind of zoom we can
Yeah,
get on
let's
that
see.
ship.
Let's see. Hold on.
Everything's stable over here.
Stable.
Just doing the laps.
We're
Ricky's
just wanting to go to the rear.
Their roll is different than our roll.
How far?
Oh
What
yeah,
are we
like
wanting to look at?
you can see the people on the deck. Yeah, let's zoom in on the deck, on the aft deck.
Hello, sailors.
See what we got. We could see them probably preparing the mud mat that we're talking about.
Oh yeah. Who's gonna get seasick first?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If they're watching our stream and they have channel 3, then
They
they're
do.
watching themselves.
They do have our
Oh.
stream.
They need to get a
Yeah, I wasn't sure if
wave
they just
back
had
to us.
channel 1 or if they had all channel.
Yeah, they have. I think they have all of them.
They have all channels, cool. So if you're there on Cable Innovator watching this feed, you can see yourselves.
Wave to the camera.
Yeah, wave to your family that's also
Wave to us.
listening in the...
Yeah.
That also waves to yourself.
Oh, we're in trouble now.
That's probably a DP.
Do you guys copy that back there?
Yeah, for those watching, I feel like the scale of the ship is not quite captured in video here. That is a much, much larger vessel than this one.
And if you think you're seasick watching that, imagine being on a boat that's doing a different thing and watching that.
Being on a boat, watching another boat, watch you
Yeah.
on a boat.
Oh yeah, if they were watching this, they might be even more seasick. Recursive
Oh, look, you can
seasickness.
see people on the back deck.
Yeah. It's good to see we got proper PPE.
It is kind of hard to watch them for some reason.
Yeah. Great hard hats all around. Good job, everybody.
Yeah, no video highlights for, you know, in case you see something. We don't need to be, no snitches.
Oh yeah.
What's the saying? Snitches get stitches?
Yeah.
So we presumably will be watching them prepare the mud mat. First the anchor, then the mud mat to go over.
Yeah, they have to do several load transfers to get the mud mat over, so it does take some time.
Yeah.
What is this? Norbit for dummies?
Which one's
This is
that?
Norbit SOP.
I know. But
Is that
they-
the one
yeah.
that I gave you, or is that the old one?
That's the one you gave me.
Okay.
Yeah, Norbit for
I got it
dummies.
down from the data lab earlier. I couldn't
Okay,
remember
cool.
the time syncing thing. I couldn't remember what it was.
Let's see. That would be the one.
Are you too young for
No,
the
we're
dummies books?
3009.
Remember the dummies books?
I put it in a
Dummies
table up
books?
here.
Yeah, there was like Windows XP for dummies or
Oh, yeah.
Excel for
Outside,
dummies.
3008.
Norbit for dummies.
Yeah, that's what I'm...
Right now? Short. Nothing. Put a new sonar display up there. Yeah?
Mm-hmm. I'll
Just in
confirm that
case.
they're able to
Yeah.
ping our
You never know.
ROV beacon.
All right, I'll stretch out to the east. Pretty close. 100.
I know, but it's kind of neat.
Can open the door.
Yeah, that's a big, big ship. So there's a second A-frame just to the left there. Yeah, just coming into view now.
Yeah, that's
ONC,
how they launch their ROV. Yeah.
Nico and Dirk, there's a request from the ROV pilots to see about if we can stretch, just to check our ability to get to that beacon. I know that the cable innovator wanted the ROVs off-site, so I'm thinking we'd have to communicate with them that we want to
Sure.
go reassess that.
I'll chat
beacon.
that over right now and get
Okay.
some confirmation.
Just let them know and then we go from there. That seems fine.
You wanna sit here?
So just stand by till we get that confirmation from cable innovator that that's okay.
I haven't gotten to test anything on it. We could barely see anything. All right. Yeah. No, you can't do both. It's looking at a COM port, I think.
Oh yeah, why don't you radio that in?
Yeah, too easy. All right, try it out. Yeah. Oh well, yeah. You go. You can change the sector. It's full screen. F11. Play with it.
How annoying is it to have that door open when we're on the radio? Yeah. I think it will blind everybody. No, it's okay. All right. If you think it'll, you might have to think on the door too. Yeah, one radio works to theirs. It seems the other one doesn't.
Anyone in here good at programming radios? Take that as a no.
That's a no.
Once upon a time I was.
Sure would be nice if I could program my radio.
Okay, I have confirmation that we are clear to try this stretch approach.
Okay. Jake, you're clear.
All right.
We're heading to the blue target.
You're a dandy if you do.
You're going to have to flip around, heading.
Just take off auto handling for Atalanta.
Yeah, roger.
Dan, what are you wanting on your radio?
The pleasure channel.
68.
Yeah. Well, the pleasure channel -1.
Yeah, we got confirmation on chat as well.
So there's a ruler here, grid.
Not that button.
Not that button.
That's not the one.
Acoustic zoom.
Oh, if you want to, speed is the resolution there.
Yeah, that looks all about basically the same.
Yeah.
What's this one? Online?
I think we've been waiting all expedition,
Sector.
unfortunately.
Dan, this isn't gonna work. This is not a VHF radio.
Roger. There's one down on top of the toolbox. We don't need it. Rennie's got it in here, doesn't he?
Yeah, I have channel 68 on that we can listen to.
Roger. You just have to have a headset on.
No, it's on the main radio.
Oh, is
So
it?
yeah, you'll hear it in the room.
Roger.
Not to talk on, just to listen on.
Mouse, pen, and zoom. Is this box up by default, Jake? Oh yeah, there you go. Maximum gain. I'm gonna bump your range up. Oh, you gotta zoom out when you do that.
I
Really?
didn't have to before.
I must have done something bad here. What are you saying? I jacked it up already?
Maybe you just go to full screen? I don't know.
Reset zoom.
F11.
Select.
Got halfway there, Jake.
Oh, look, a measurement. Okay, so I've got the range. This is nice. The range is not all stupid.
Yeah.
So I'm going to set this at 20 meters. No, I'm going to blow it out. What's your altitude? 10 meters. I have to be a little lower. I better log this.
I doubt they feel it at all.
So the vessels are 110 meter.
Yes.
Hell, I can adjust it from here, Jake. I don't need to see the little cryptic things.
And then if you hit F11, it goes full screen.
F11. Oh, that's brilliant.
Yeah, I think.
You get one attaboy for that. Just remember, it takes 10 of those to make up for it. Oh,
I don't think I'm getting much more than this.
How about if there's more payout?
Oh yeah, if we're stretched out a little bit more.
that shouldn't.
So yeah, that
25
other
meter
A
delta.
for MEC is,
All right, I'll come
is
down. I'll
probably
pay out.
further
Just remember, we have to
ROV.
pay in on
They've
the
got
way
like
back.
more of a
Yep.
crawler version, and they use that to dredge in cables that they've laid. They go back over it and use like big water pumps to create a trench for the
You're miles
newly
away.
laid cables.
Yeah.
Push them down.
About 50 meters.
So
probably.
they have an ROV as well
80
Yeah.
meters.
that
80 meters.
is just purely for surface ops on the ocean.
Can't get there
floor.
from here.
Yeah,
50 meters from
Yeah.
the float.
big slow crawler. It's massive, I think.
I'll have to look that up too. I mean, yeah, because
So you've
So
pulled
they're-
it.
they're doing
You've stretched
for
Atalanta. Those are 100 meter
organizations, probably
grids,
like
Rennie?
for what, telecom? or
Telecom.
something
These are
like that.
50.
Huh?
50.
So we've pulled it 50 meters.
We pulled Atalanta, yes, 60 meters
60.
from its position to where it is now with Atalanta, yeah, and then Hercules is
Why don't you have a-
95 meters.
Still moving?
That makes sense. It's a
Why
30.
don't you
Yeah,
have
you
a
got.
sonar target behind you. What am I?
That is Atalanta. Oh, interesting. Oh yeah, Atalanta's flipped around, that's why. So
Oh,
that's
yeah.
Hercules.
Oh yeah, tail to tail.
Right,
Oh,
right.
Yeah, it's okay, I
Right.
did the same thing. I was like, that shouldn't be there.
It shouldn't be
Still
there.
pulling it.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll head off. Yeah, I'm getting with the game here. Give me a second. I'm still fascinated by the new sonar with the gray background. That's brilliant.
So you're making it slowly.
Dan, you can also
Only
change your
about,
color
what,
scheme
25
on the
meters
bottom
now?
left.
Should be able to
Oh yeah, nice.
get it if I come down
Yeah, we'll want to be like
But
10
we'll-
meters off.
we'll want to be par, tail to tail par.
And
So
at some point, we're going to be having to do the stretch out and be 125 meters off bottom, right? So to inspect the mud mat.
Great. So we got no DBL,
Yeah. At least the US fail's been
No
bang on.
no telemetry to
Knock on
the
wood.
item that's being lowered. Is that right? We don't
We'll-
have a
we'll-
beacon on it?
We'll have a beacon on it. It's just they have control of it right now. When we're actually doing the approach, we'll take control of
Oh,
pinging
I
that
see, right.
beacon.
So as we talked yesterday, they'll be all static at that time, like having T.
Yeah, they'll be full hold,
Right,
and
then it's
we'll
our
take
ball
control of the beacon. Yeah.
Roger. I'm good with that.
Is that it?
Is that it?
30 meters out. Let's see. Maybe. No. Maybe it's that faint thing right dead ahead. Right
Oh, yeah.
there. That little blip.
It's a very
Yeah, that's it.
It's a very and that gain is set at 100 right now, Rennie, just for FYI,
Roger.
because we're trying to do a mid-water thing. If I come down a little,
I gotta come back up a little bit.
yeah, your ideal, I logged it here somewhere, your ideal altitude to get it on your
It's about 9 meters or something,
Tritech.
10 meters.
7 meters. I got it
7
in both
meters?
sonars.
Oh yeah, you can just see it, I think, too.
Yeah, it's just faint. Oh yeah, yeah, there's the line.
Oh, yeah.
Dirk's got
Oh,
it,
yeah.
We might want lasers off when we're doing this next time, just to not confuse us.
Yeah, I saw like 3 lasers.
I'll turn them off now.
Roger.
This is a good dry run for what
Yeah.
we're really doing.
Sure.
So we have our down lights off. We can see the furthest. There it is, plain as day in the cinema camera.
You got it in the Tritech
Where
there?
Yeah.
where is our ground marker compared to
Nice.
this? Or do we did we put that down in the
We
end?
did. It's just
Yeah, it's another 3 meters past
It's
this.
3 meters to the left. Jake can probably go show you.
To the left?
To
or
the right.
to the right?
Should be.
Huh?
From this perspective, it should be, the ground marker should be
It's to the right. I see it.
east of it, yes, to the right.
Because
Oh, yeah.
hopefully we can use this to,
Yeah, that's
Wait a
it.
minute.
The flag right on the
I'll
ground.
face backwards.
I don't see it. Do you see it? Oh, that's
Yeah,
it. I
that's
thought
the
it was
flag.
a jellyfish. Okay,
Yeah.
that's it right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought there was a jellyfish in the column.
No, that's it.
So, hang on.
Hang on.
Yeah. You know what I'm
What's wrong with this picture?
Yeah, the floats where we're going to drag the anchor across.
Yeah.
Yeah, if we're going to try and set the anchor on the other side of the float.
Well, yeah. We ain't
That sh-
moving it
that
now,
sh-
I can tell you that.
That should have been a bit more.
It should have been any other 90, any
Yes.
other direction.
So it's west, and we're going to be laying northwest.
We're
so
laying
it's-
northwest, yes.
Right, so it will be not the most ideal position for it, but
But if we...
I didn't have that, sorry, that's my bad. I didn't have that burned in my reptile brain, what the lay path was until I've
Oh,
been moving around all
This
night.
is not a problem. I think we should just think about when we watch that anchor, where do we want it to touch down? Because obviously we don't want it there, but maybe a meter, clear to further in this heading, which is just relative to there where we're going to try and land it.
Yeah, we want it, if we're right here, we
Yeah.
want it to be to our left.
To our left.
Yeah.
But we don't
Or
want to get any
further
closer
away.
to the node. So I think we should just go from the flag perpendicular to the lay angle and just move it a meter or 2 meters or whatever,
Oh,
then
yeah.
that direction. What
On
do you
the
think,
other
Nico?
side?
Yeah.
Yeah. I would, if I was you, I would completely ignore that float and try and hit the flag.
are you talking about putting it on this side? I'm sorry, I'm missing. So
No,
the
put
flag
it-
is currently on the west side,
Yeah.
or the east side of the float. And where
Right.
were you thinking about dropping the anchor instead?
So basically we've got our bearing that we want to lay this whole cable on from that anchor right to the mud mat to the other site.
we just want to move our landing zone a meter or two perpendicular to that bearing, so it's not onto the float,
Northeast,
right?
Got it.
Northeast or southwest.
Yeah. Okay.
We got cardinal points here, so the lay path is 315.
Northeast would be
Better. Yeah.
because that keeps the node closer to,
So
or the mud mat closer to the node.
So this is, if this is east, then we'd be putting it there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's perfect. Yeah.
Just checking.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah. Northeast would be good because then we'll have visibility of the marker buoy the whole time.
Yep.
And we can kind of, if the thing's bouncing or gets in the mud, we'll still be able to hopefully see the
We're
marker
about
buoy.
5 meters away.
I don't know, how close can you get, Jake?
It looks just from your sonar
Yeah,
ping
right, I
there.
can get to it, I
I
think.
think we're about 10 according to that.
And then we suspect that flag is about how far from that rope? Like 2 meters? 2, 3?
Bang on
Okay.
3 meters.
3 meters, okay.
We literally sat between the two, and we lined up our porch facing due north,
Okay.
or no, northeast.
Dude.
Yeah, and we picked it up and moved it the final. We picked it up from the top, got it that close, and we landed underneath and picked it up with the manipulator and moved it without flying.
All right, cool. So that will give us a nice scale reference for when we do land this anchor, that it needs to be within that distance, but on the other side. You know what I'm saying, Nico?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. The reps on the ship are saying, the ONC reps are saying that if this is indeed the location we want to be dropping it, like when they get the mud mat in the water and get beacon hits and we're on good target, they're probably going to be okay with moving closer, or sorry, Nautilus moving closer, yeah.
Another
20 meters or something.
okay, right now I think they're 110 meters apart. So if they stay in that 100 meter window.
If you look at Jake's, you got Herc GUI up back there?
Yeah.
You see that box in the top left?
Yep. This circ here. Hang on, let me pull it up. Actually, I might not have actually had it.
Slight sidebar is they've got the mud mat up in the air over on Cable Innovator.
Okay, thanks. So I've got the Herc screen up. What's that?
Yeah. Oh, if you watch his commands for a minute, he's pretty much 100%, 100%. He's letting go of it now that he's actually there.
Okay.
But for example, now he's 100%, 100%.
So what is this 100% referencing to?
That means he's using full power to
stretch
to
this far.
maintain that visual.
Gotcha. Okay.
And the interesting thing will be to see now if he lets go of it, how fast we
Springs back.
slide away.
How long can you stay at 100% for?
Till his arms get tired, I guess.
Oh. Out of curiosity, how much forward thrust do you think this ROV has?
That's in the glossy brochure.
That's in the
I don't know
brochure.
if that's right, but
Would it be similar to the vertical thrust?
Exactly the same as the vertical thrust. A couple 100 pounds.
And how
200
heavy
pounds,
is
I think.
Atalanta?
4,000 pounds.
Oh, 4,000. Wow. And are we using Atalanta's thrust as well right now or not?
Negative.
Oh.
Atalanta is,
A clump weight, basically, at this point?
it is a clump weight. We're tail to tail. You can see occasionally in the two monitors in the lower right screen there.
Yep.
You'll see Atalanta's, you'll see Hercules lights down below Atalanta occasionally there. So we're only 15 meters below Atalanta right now.
Okay. So this gives us a good kind of reference on how much that 50 kilogram anchor is going to be able to pull the mud mat then, if Atalanta and the mud mat are similar in weight.
Oh, yeah. Are they?
Well, the mud mats are 4,400 pounds, as far as I know.
Baby.
I think so.
Can't recall.
Like 2 tons?
Yeah, someone on, I'm sure Deg is listening to this and he can correct me if I'm wrong. Maybe a little more, actually.
Shoot, I'm lagging here. I need to log this. I'll shift.
Sure. Whatever you need to do. Wide on the Cable Innovator, right? Yeah.
Oh. The mud mat looks like it's in between the A-frame right now.
Yep.
Should we back
Yeah.
out?
Yep.
Are we finished with the
back up.
tests? All good?
Yep.
Okay.
Are you guys all happy?
Happy?
Happy,
So
yeah.
would
Just
I be
gonna
lying?
cancel.
Would I say that you used 100% power?
100% power, yeah.
Right.
To drag, how far did we go? 140 meters or something?
Yeah, double check.
Oh, mud mat's only 3,300 pounds.
That dragged, well, which do you want? From Atalanta to Atalanta
How far did we
is
drag
100
Atalanta?
meters. 100 meters.
Roger.
Oh, gotcha.
Tail to tail, same 15-meter delta.
Just so you know, my record's 180 meters, so. I must have had a tailwind, or I'm lying. The fish is always bigger after the story gets, you know.
Yeah, or there was a layback that was assisting you.
There was a layback that was assisting me.
Yeah, we got up to, I think, well, when you guys came on, yeah, it was like 400 meter layback, I think, on that. And so the ship was, I was kind of making some notes. We were going 0.7 knots. So at 0.7 knots for going for a while, we got 400. It kind of stops at around 400. It doesn't go too much creeps into, I've never seen 5.
So now that I'm thinking about it, I remember what we did. We were laying away, and then they wanted to stop and look at something or something. And so I put on full power and was able to hold Atalanta, hold the layback, and it was 180 meters that I started getting drug. But yeah, I reckon you could have.
A little bit more, yeah.
It seems like just with a little more time, you know, you just can, it's probably diminishing returns. It starts to slow the farther you can go, and then that's it. But
Jake made that look really easy, but it's completely frightening for us because we have no control. Like he's full power forward, full power down. There's just nothing left in the bank. If you've ever ridden a small CC motorcycle on the highway, where your motorcycle can do like your moped is, you know, or your motorcycle's like you're just pinned at 55 and there's cars flying by you.
yeah.
You got nothing to. I'm probably gonna have to come up a little, eh?
ONC, you could write, if you haven't already, you can report that we're backing off the target back to our, kind of just hanging out by Nautilus.
Yep, sounds good.
I can look back at my graph here and see how much.
They're probably able to ping our beacon as well, so.
Roger.
So we started, Atalanta was at, geez, I can't read that, 2029, and I came down 2038. So
Yeah,
I basically came down 10 meters for you to do that.
Okay, good to know.
Yes, good to know. And it's not a swing into the mud.
Yeah. I would have thought you would have had to pay out more, so that is good to know. But the angle, it's just like you think about it, but your mind isn't processing how large,
I know.
how tall that is and how small of an angle. But I'm like, yeah, you got to pay out way more. But when you do the math, it's like, no. So they got the mud mat dangling over the side. It looks like they got presumably the anchor already under it because they got a chain hanging from the mud mat or a line of some kind. And so, Jake, you're just dead stick letting it drag you back? Okay, just curious.
Back to 100 meter standoff.
The ship to ship?
No, I just put some stuff in the log here so I can.
Roger.
We're hoping to hand it over and get out of this with our skin intact. Let the next ship deal with it.
Oh, right, you guys are at the
look
big...
at this brand new sonar display.
Oh, yeah. Oh, by the way, you have a new sonar display.
They're going to be like, what? Why?
Our plan is to have... I'll be around the data lab from 12 to 2, and Lynette will be there from 2 to 4, just if Johan needs any assistance during that time.
Yeah, that'd
so
be
we'll
good.
be hanging around, but not really.
I would hang around, but I would be unwanted.
Who's to say I'm wanted?
Yeah, but you have the seniority. I do not.
Yeah, I don't know. But I
Both,
mean, I'm just down in the data lab anyway. I'm not,
both of those characters have been around this boat longer than I have.
yeah.
Oh, sorry. You want it back?
No, it's fine.
That is a great view of the mud mat being lowered down there.
Yeah, I'm really glad there's like some people on deck so you can get a sense of scale.
Yeah.
What's
Yeah.
a baby
So
mud mat?
they're just saying they'll dip the mud mat in the water and then do a load, the final load transfer with an acoustic release and begin to lower it.
Do they have a spool at the edge of the ship, or just the curvature of the ship allows them to lay the...
There's spools in between those thingies.
Got it. That makes sense.
Or spools or just chutes.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if they're actual wheels.
Yeah, that's what I was curious about.
Yeah.
So you're saying they're lifting it with an acoustic release right now, and they'll lower that, transfer the load once it's in the water to the cable?
To the, I think to the drum, yeah.
No, that's interesting. I've been next to that ship so many times, but I've never been set foot on it.
Mm-hmm.
Did you get a shot of your boat anchor underneath that thing?
Our boat hangar?
Your boat anchor.
No, we never saw it. I didn't see it. It was...
I can see the line. That's about all
Yeah,
I can
we
make
saw
out.
the line, but I didn't see we weren't close enough to get a good visual on the anchor going in.
Yeah, it looks like it's got like a bridle, 2-point bridle off the back of that mud mat.
I was thinking yesterday when we were talking about our pool of when this thing hit the mud, and well, knowing our luck, it'll be right at shift change.
Yeah.
I think we should
Massive
probably...
The timing sounds right.
Yeah.
I think we could probably just hang on if it's close to ship change and just that.
Yeah, we will. We'll wanna. Well, it depends. That's
Yeah, maybe they can't wait. Who knows?
Well, thankfully, you guys, you guys did a really good job at talking all the teams through, so everyone's got it in their mind exactly kind of what the plan is. So that was that's good. So no one's walking in like, okay, what are we doing
Totally
here? What's
blind,
this
yeah.
operation?
Okay, so what is this? Is the ship there?
Yeah, I think the only thing that, is the position of where we are approaching from, and everything wasn't defined. Yeah.
Yeah, so look at that displacement. Completely submerged
Yeah, that's wild.
to like
Up and out.
completely out. It's not that bad, but it's also hard to tell with the waves, right? Because it's kind of riding the wave. It's moving around a lot, hey?
Mm-hmm. I just don't want that.
Oh, they just did the load transfer, that's why.
You sure?
Yeah, it looks like the top line is now slack, and it's coming underneath the ship now.
Oh, yeah, I do see 2 lines there.
Yeah, it's transferred to the drums.
This is wild to watch.
one thing I don't have clear in my reptile brain. At what altitude are we going to pick up the mud mat? It's going to have to be way up there because there's 100 meters.
Yeah, so they're going to stop at anchor being 25 meters off bottom. That means mud mat will be 125.
Roger.
I'm going to draw that.
Yeah, I drew it yesterday, but I don't have that on me. So it's 100 meters between the...
Yeah, from
mud
the
mat
anchor, it's
to
20
the
meters of chain, and then 80 meters of rope.
Yeah, 20 meters of chain on the anchor side.
Yeah.
And they can just get that separation off bottom from our beacons.
And our marker buoy there, Rennie, for reference, is bang on 8 meters.
Okay, that's altitude. 8 meters bang on, perfect.
The marker buoy is 8 meters up off the deck, yeah?
Roger.
Roger.
And our optimum sonar height for kind of lighting it up from 15 meters away or so is about 7 meters. We're getting it in both sonars.
Nice.
Okay.
What, roughly, do we know what accuracy these pressure sensors have on the beacons? Is that what Hercules also uses for?
No. So there is a pressure sensor on the beacon. We don't do depth aiding, although we probably should for the ones that are plugged in. We just do acoustic because we don't use those for depth. We use the Paro
Oh, okay.
The pressure sensors. That's our official depth recording.
Gotcha.
The reason why we hadn't historically done it on any of the beacons is because it requires double the power, but it's not an issue for, well, obviously they're powered, but if we were in battery mode, it would waste it twice as fast. That's kind of, and we already don't use that depth, but we can turn on depth aiding and it'll report the depth from that pressure sensor, because it's like, it's sending two signals, the little blip of what depth it is, and then also just the response.
And what's our, I wonder how close those pressure sensors are to what Herc's using.
I don't know what
That is
they
a
are.
good test, yeah.
I don't know what they are nowadays, but it would be interesting to get some empirical data there. Historically, I trust them about as much as I trust the XY, so plus or minus 1%.
Yeah, it definitely does change. If we do depth dating, it totally changes our actual, our depth, because the acoustic and the pressure sensor are quite different, but whether or not it's correct, to Dan's point, is unknown.
What is the difference you're seeing, if you, or it's just not possible to check?
Let me see.
I guess the best thing to go off of once you're down there is the altimeter.
Yeah.
So I'll turn on depth aiding for Hercules.
Where it's really got me is situations just like this, where we're waiting for a crane wire or waiting for something that somebody's lowering, especially off another vessel where, you know, we're not 100% familiar with the gear and we think it's somewhere and it's not. And
yeah,
you know, I can tell you a bunch of horror stories, but yeah, fly past it, fly under it, fly around it, it winds up in the mud. If there's other, you know, equipment on the seabed, it can be really bad.
Yeah, the main thing is to not change
Cookie Monster? What's that?
during operations. Like if you were to change your sound velocity profile or change your depth aiding, then you run into a problem where you've been reporting one thing and then your depths are all different.
Yeah.
But so what I'm going to do right now is change it. So we have...
Because it's bored.
Yeah. So Hercules currently reads 2669 acoustic depth, and you're reading 2653, so that's off by whatever, a certain amount of numbers.
1%?
15 meters?
And so if I switch on...
almost 1%.
Yeah,
switching
1%,
depth aiding on for Hercules. Let's see if that changes.
Certainly enough to fly under it
Oh,
without seeing
it's
it.
0.1%, I think, yeah.
I'm not seeing a change, but I don't know if I need to enable that in a different
Rennie,
way.
heads up that they're going to want us to try and ping the mud mat beacon once they have it in the water, because that'll be an important check for us.
Roger.
Make sure we don't get all the way to the bottom and can't ping that beacon, because then don't know how comfortable you're going to be to approaching.
Sure, it'll need a bit of depth on their end, just because of the slant range from where we are in it.
Yeah.
But yes, we can do that. I'm not seeing any change there. Let me see if I have to change something else in order to enable that. Don't think so.
If we were within stepping distance of the cable innovator, normally we'd get on it at 50 meters of depth and chase it all the way down.
Yeah, that would be cool to watch.
I'm
Yeah,
not seeing a
it's
change
usually-
in that sensor, but so I'm going to switch
usually
back.
There you go. A lot more exciting for us than Whistling-Dixie 2 kilometers below it.
Okay, let me... On my chart, that is 3008. Should be the beacon on the mud mat.
And what depth do you think they should get it to before we try that?
I don't know. I can try it, you know, as early as possible, and they can just keep lowering unless they want to stop. It's because I don't know. We'll get it when we get it.
100 meters, probably minimum.
Yeah, we'll
Yeah,
try 100.
I would say guess 100 too.
But I don't know, that's a 45 slant range. Is it
I've actually,
Yes.
we did a small boat test where we had a beacon that was 50 meters depth, and we brought it out, was it 100 meters? Maybe. So maybe it might pick it up at 50. It wouldn't be very accurate, but it might pick it up.
Yeah.
I've told them 100 meters.
Okay, that's fine. It's probably nothing for them to pay out 100 meters. No big deal.
I got all weird pings from Mesobot when they would be like close to the boat, like
Yeah.
Yeah.
like 50 meters down, it'd be like showing up all over the place.
I noticed one
Yeah.
of the beacons on the seabed was an Omni beacon. I didn't know you could get an Omni beacon that depth, this depth rated.
Yeah, they're all omnis.
Yeah, they have the WMTs. They have an Omni WMT that's 7,000 meter rated.
Really?
Yeah,
I believe so, yeah.
News to me. I thought on my day they were all shallow. Do we know what the payout rate of that big girl is?
Oh, good question, Dan.
I don't know.
Hmm.
I'll ask.
Well, I suppose if they call out every once in a while, we can do a little bit of math.
So are we sure that the beacons that aren't working, that they're not directional beacons?
Every
If they've got that
beacon
head, then
we've
they're
done
Omni.
is Omni.
Yeah.
They're all Omni? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. The one we were playing with there at the corner of the mud mat's definitely an Omni.
Okay, yeah.
And that one last night never got
No, it never
properly.
worked.
No, we could never get it. We picked it up and looked at it, and it's obvious. It's, you know, we could see where it's turned on.
Yeah, the problem with those is if they're set, it could be something, there could be many things wrong with it, but one of the things is making sure that in their settings, once you serial in and you talk to it and you have some settings, if those aren't correct or if they go out of the depth range or something, you'll never be able to acoustically communicate with it and tell it otherwise.
Yeah, the 2,000 meter hocus pocus.
Yeah.
Yeah, why did they do that?
I don't know
lose
why they do
beacons.
that. Yeah.
But that's why we're testing with the one over here at Cable Innovator as it goes down, right? So that we're not surprised by the time it reaches the
That's right.
floor.
Yeah, we're running like 50% right now, or for
On
the
our
ones.
beacon success, yeah.
I wonder if they have different payout speeds versus.
So they'll
their
be
weight
paying
on
out
the,
at
weight on the
about
wire.
1 kilometer per hour.
Okay, so 2.5 hours to get down
Oh boy.
once they get going.
That'll be good for you guys. You'll have a fresh crew in here. They'll be all caffeinated up, ready to rock and roll.
Yeah. There we go. They're pulling the release out of the water, so the load transfer is definitely complete.
Yeah, nice fit, nice shot, Ember.
Confirmation that load has been transferred to the cable.
I'm surprised Ed hasn't got gimbaled cameras yet, but he likes to fly that joystick like a fighter pilot. Amber's over there working the joystick, by the way, to keep that image.
Oh yeah. That looks hard.
Yeah, really. Yeah, now we're all watching you.
It's the only action in town right now.
Yeah, we got 2 hours.
No pressure, Amber.
Yeah, the reason none of us are seasick is because of your technical skills and soft touch right now.
Yeah, I gotta remember to stop looking at that every once in a while.
Yeah, we're in different waves right now.
Textbook interference of waves. You know.
What would you call that?
Yeah, it's
Call that
this dive plan.
whatever it was
Cable
last
ship
time?
goes overboard.
It's less than 5 though.
Once anchor's 20, next step. Once anchor's 25 meters off bottom.
Yeah, there's a good 2.5 hour wait in
Delay.
there. Maybe I
Just
should write that
in
step
between
in there.
5 or 6, it's just like, yeah, this is going to be a bit of a wait.
Yeah.
The bullet point is just yada yada, and then
Yeah. You only put action items in there.
Oh. That's good. Really?
So at least it's faster than
Pea
a vertical
protein or something?
transect.
Nuts?
Yes, yeah.
Sorry.
When we've done those.
What was that? Sorry.
No, it wasn't important. It just said
Oh,
at
okay.
least this is faster than a vertical transect.
Yeah.
But except the water we're looking at is not changing at all, which is worse for viewing.
That's 4, isn't it? That's news.
I'm surprised that that depth aiding didn't do anything. I'm gonna have to think that through for a bit.
Yeah. 676.
Our XY is about half percent water depth, I think. But our Z, that's always gonna be worse. It looks like, what did we say it was 1%?
Well, I thought it was like 3-4 meters difference at 3 kilometers. Maybe that's only 0.1%.
It was, what was it? Right now it's 53 to 67. So yeah,
Oh, okay, it's 15.
Yeah, 15.
It's like 0.5% or something.
Yeah, and that's about the XY according to our calibration stuff.
So I'll just make a point of when that anchor does approach the seafloor, we should give them an action altimeter depth so that they know how much to pay out extra once it's on the bottom and not go by beacon depth, which could be way off.
Yep. That's a good idea.
Yeah, that 125 sounded a little shallow to me.
A little what?
A little shallow, maybe.
We could ask them to change that if you wanted to go a bit higher up. I just was worried that it might be harder for you to stretch out.
What? No, it doesn't matter to us.
Doesn't
you went
matter
out for a while. I could. No.
Yeah, because that just leaves us with that 15-meter error. That just leaves us maybe 8 meters, 10, yeah. 8 or 10 meters. So
we could get them to stop at 50. Then it's 150 meters up.
Yeah, I think you want to be, 20 off bottom.
If we already lose DVL, then it doesn't matter above that. We'll be relying on USBL regardless, so
yep.
It doesn't save us any.
So we can just monitor and change that, let them know.
Yeah, I would factor in your error there.
Yeah, because that error is substantial, and they might see more than that, right?
They might.
We don't know what they're seeing.
And then, yeah, the closest you want to get to on bottom is 20 meters, so that'll give you a 10-meter separation between the top of the float and the bottom of the anchor.
Well, I'll put in
that makes more sense
that change request right now, get them to stop at 50 meters off bottom.
Mark that as an action item.
Yeah. We got the time to think about this.
Yeah.
And then when we come in, we'll probably want to be, 10 meters above it, so we're looking down. Because you don't want to try and look out, because our lights penetrate down, right? So you can see the seabed.
Plus we got the
almost.
180 cam. That'll see it downwards a lot better, yeah.
Yeah. 10, we can see the seabed almost 10 meters up, but a big yellow glowy thing will pick up in the lights a long way away, and all the lights are looking 30 degrees down or something like that. So if you're flying level with it, you fly, the danger is you fly under it and then fly into that little rope that's hanging off it underneath it. Voice of experience, all of it bad. know you'd be out there with that super whammy camera of yours. Did you get a picture of the anchor, by the way?
So they have lowered the mud mat to 50 meters down, and they're not getting beacon returns, so they're still lowering. I imagine once they get beacon returns, they'll transfer over to us, make sure we can as well.
Roger.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
Nice. Splash pick.
For you guys up in the front, how active do you guys have to be to keep the ROVs, you know, safely operating when we're in like sit and wait mode?
At the moment, complacency is our biggest enemy. Right now, Jake has, as we say, all autos on. So we have our auto XY engaged, auto altitude, auto heading. We have a comfortable, although the Atalanta pilot's slacking off here. We are semi-comfortable with Atalanta's position, although it's drifting in the wind, probably putting turns in our tether.
Sorry, what was the question? I was being complacent. No,
We should have caught that. Which way do I need to go? How's your turns?
The degree of like active monitoring you have to do during these sit and wait modes.
So from on this seat and the navigator, I'm making sure that the ship isn't doing anything unexpected that would affect the vehicles. We've got a bit of time to react because the depths are so great, but we would want to know right away if there was something that was not expected.
And from an ROV side, you can just
slide back a little more.
Stay
Jake?
where you are.
Slide back.
Yeah, we're just holding here.
Or do I even want to? Yeah, let's slide back and I'll turn around here.
Yeah, I just figured we'd remain stretched out because that's like the next thing we're going to do anyway, right?
Well, maybe.
Nico,
We should be watching her.
are they successfully
the tether.
pinging our beacon on Hercules, the 3009?
Yes,
Okay.
yes they are, because they confirmed that when we went up to the anchor that they were showing us at, you know, roughly 10 meters away. So
Okay.
they were pinging both of those at the same time, and
Great.
that all seemed to be working.
Cool. So they're just waiting on the beacon that's on the mud
On
map.
the mud mat, yeah.
Yeah. So they've confirmed in one sense that it's all good. It's just the beacon is the question.
Yeah, fingers crossed.
Yep. Otherwise, we're gonna have to small boat over a beacon. Huh.
They do have a spare.
So they have three. They have one.
They have three on the
got it,
innovator, yeah.
Roger.
They won't pull it back up for a beacon, will they?
Ooh.
Good question.
Okay, they are asking us to now interrogate the beacon, so
Have they had success?
I haven't heard.
Okay. I will interrogate beacon 3008.
That's right.
This might be a silver lining. If we can and they can't, we get to watch it.
Beacon 3008 is set for 4 seconds, which should be fine. It is pinging.
They did not have success pinging it.
Copy. So far, none here, but that doesn't mean anything quite yet. They're 100 meters down.
100 meters deep.
I would think we'd be able to pick that up. 100 meters by 100 meters. Should be able to get that.
No joy?
Nope. And they couldn't, because it's now cable, they couldn't necessarily put another beacon on higher up because that's going to be then laid down, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's not true. They put a floating beacon on the wire.
Oh, yeah.
Usually we do compets on the wire, so you have the LBL array, and then they'll put several compets
Yeah.
on the way down. And that lets them monitor their catenary when they're first doing the delay.
Do they put that on a float, or they just strap it right to the cable?
Yeah, it's on a float.
It's on a float, and then the comp has the release. Yeah. Cool.
Well, we usually go cut them, but they should release.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, a lot of times.
Catch all that, Nico?
We go grab the compat and cut it, and we bring it back with the ROV.
That's channel 68 being...
They're going to put it another 100 meters down, just to
Roger.
be sure we can't ping it. But yeah, we have no pings yet.
Yeah, Roger, no pings. Staring at the...
No pings.
It amazes me we can do this nowadays with, we can like text the guys next door on the...
I mean, they're watching our feed, yeah.
Yeah. Well, are we doing the rocket, Wi-Fi to Wi-Fi, or are they getting it off the internet?
Wi-Fi.
It's Wi-Fi, yeah, is that right? Yeah.
They're looking at our high vision sat feeds.
Yeah, confirm still no beacon returns.
Roger.
This isn't the best sign because they weren't getting it either.
No.
I don't know if you caught all that conversation Dan and I were having.
That's usually on a pipe lay,
That
Yeah.
would be the cable.
but they also do it on
That would be the cable.
the big umbilicals.
That's going to be way better than... I would say like tape it.
We were just talking about that. I don't know if you heard that conversation.
No, I wasn't listening to
But
that.
I don't know what kind of equipment they have there, but if you can, Dan was talking about rigging it on a float on the cable, so then it's fine on the way down, and then once it lays, it's
upright.
It's up, and you can. But that would be a whole conversation of them rigging that. And
Yeah, we'll
yeah,
we'll make that decision when they get to 200 meters down and we still can't ping.
yeah,
Yeah.
Typically they put them in a float collar, which we've talked about having for our beacon to get rid of those glass ball contraptions.
Oh right, yeah,
Yeah.
those.
I mean,
Yes.
Yeah.
even if they've got nothing, you can just duct tape it on there as much as you can, and then we can cut it. Something. We can figure something out.
At that point, so if that's the conversation, now we're going to be 200 meters up the cable. Would they
Yeah.
want to
I imagine they'd want to bring it back
haul
up
haul
closer.
some in? Yeah.
Is that armored cable?
It is. Lightweight armored.
Yeah, it's kind of taboo to touch the product. Like if you're cutting the sling off, you're not touching the product on the seabed.
Yeah, like rig up a sling with a,
Yeah, so we hold on to the sling and cut it above that.
yeah, something.
But yeah, you don't want to like be picking it up or moving it or whatever. If it goes, if we damage it, it's...
Still no pings.
And they were not able to ping it, the cable ship?
No.
What is this, $1 million cable A or $5 million cable A or something like that?
It's definitely got an M in it
Yeah,
somewhere.
if we stab that cable trying to cut a beacon off with a knife, that's, lawyers would have a field day.
You guys mentioned that the XY accuracy is really good on this, and if we kind of have a rough idea of the delta on Z, can you not just kind of do the subtraction as to where a second beacon is as it's being lowered in, and kind of go straight down from there?
Are you talking about if we don't have the beacon, if we're not able to ping it?
Yeah, the first, yeah.
Yeah, it's just going to be how when they're going straight down, quote unquote, on any given target. It's not. There's going to be a bit of play in that cable where it actually is in the water column, based on if there's a current pushing on the mud mat, or if the ship isn't quite on target,
There's probably an option. I know this is probably above my pay grade.
Do you have that weird shear knife or that hook knife on board?
Yeah, we do. But if we can get closer, if we just bring the ROV up and get on it, we'll just chase it down. You'll know exactly where it is.
I can't really hear you, Dan. Is it just me that's not hearing? I'm shy.
No, it's pretty good. You can take your co-pilot one like this and touch up the DB. There you go.
Okay, sweet.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
If it's a big drama that they can't lay it without the beacon, we can just bring the ROV up and get on it and chase it down.
Yeah, that's
that
a good
way
point.
You'll know exactly
Yeah.
where it is.
we would probably be able to acquire it somewhere mid-water. We wouldn't be able to, like, you're talking about from a depth down to the bottom?
We have an update from them. They said we will attach a beacon to the cable joint located 100 meters above the mud mat.
Okay. All right.
Nice.
What's going on with these beacons?
Technically,
Yeah.
we could get it at 50 meters. That's our minimum depth, right? Our minimum safe depth.
I just don't know that we would be able to stretch Atalanta's.
Oh, because
Yeah.
we don't have the scope. Yeah.
We'd have to probably somewhere mid-water acquire it and go
Yeah.
down.
500 or 1,000
Yeah.
or something. Yeah.
Somewhere safe for there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't
500
think I've
meters
ever...
up.
I don't think we've ever sent a beacon down that we couldn't pick up that was actually turned on.
Yeah, now it's like
3 in
We
this
don't
one
have
dive.
tether.
If they're, I don't know, I mean, like, I was talking with Doug briefly. I mean, these are ones that you can, they have a physical shut-off switch. RWMTs don't, so we have to electronically disconnect the battery. So as long as they were stored off, I mean, if they were stored on and at long cycled battery, it could appear charged but be dead. I don't know, that's something.
I asked if they were if they confirmed battery charge, and they said fully charged. So that's all the information I got.
We've had
Those batteries are finicky though too.
yeah, we've had a run both on this vessel and on the KM where the BMS and the battery itself, the battery management system, shuts itself off and it won't turn on even though the batteries are charged. So the BMS shuts off, so the beacon thinks it has a dead battery, so Says, you know,
So
they've got an
work.
eye wand on board, so they're gonna test the spare beacon with that as a
yeah,
protocol.
I'm going to stop interrogating 3008 unless you want me to
No,
continue to do so.
they're continuing to 200 meters first,
Okay.
but
I didn't know
I
if they
think
were down there.
they're at 156, and I feel like we should be pinging that already.
Yeah, well, between the two of us, somebody should have heard from it.
Sure.
Oh, I thought you were mainly between the two of us and then doing a secret right over the...
Between the two of us, Nico, and then I'll
and
turn
everyone
off.
else listening.
Yeah, and everyone. Yeah.
I'm going to get my trig app out here and figure out. So,
I'm going to tell them that we should be able to ping this by now, so we should move into getting the spare onto the cable joint.
Yeah, so they'll have to raise it up, yeah, because they're 150 deep.
so we're 2,650. I'm just going to say 26.
Are you still pinging it at all?
Yeah, and I'm not getting anything. I can stop whenever you want, or just leave it on.
I'm going to say we should be able to ping it at this point. They should try one more time.
Okay, I'll stop pinging.
And otherwise move into getting the spare.
Roger.
What is the wand you mentioned that's going to help verify this is working? Is that what I picked up from context?
I'm not sure what that is.
It's a, rather than have to plug in via serial cable, there's an instrument that can communicate with it, just to do deck checks on it, make sure it's responding and pinging and set to what you set it to.
But of course, when you do that, you're kind of powering it as well. So if there's a suspect battery thing, this eye wand test that they're going to do is much more conclusive, hopefully.
So as I've mentioned many times in here, I failed math horribly, but my trig app says with a height of 2,650 meters and a base of 100 meters. So we did a 100 meter excursion at 2,600 meters.
Yeah.
The B angle was 2.16 degrees. And the hypotenuse was only 2652 if you round up.
Yeah, so essentially the same. So just 2 degrees up here at the surface.
Yeah, 2 degrees at the surface.
Yeah.
So just for fun and games, if we came up 1,000 meters, so 60, 50. That adds, that almost doubles it. So the angle would be 3.5.
I wouldn't think that we would need to, I mean, track it all the way down, because we would just kind of relocate it once it's at the bottom. You know, as long as they're off the bottom high enough, then we can help them position. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what kind of cable counter they have on there. They could have something
Good point.
super accurate or something that they don't trust at all.
Sorry, no pings there, Nico?
They've got no pings either. They're going to bring that joint on board and prepare the spare beacon holster, and they'll attach it right to the cable joint.
Okay.
Is that's the joint from the...
From the, like, mud mats, I don't know, spur to the main cable. So it'll be a big metal housing.
Right.
So then they'll rig it in a way that we can unrig it.
Yeah, they're putting it in a beacon holster.
Roger. So we'll add that to our cleanup dive.
Yep. A lot of beacons to pick up.
Oh yeah.
You've done that before, have you? Gotten something off that cable joint?
No. No, but we've gotten it out of holsters before. I think it's the same holster they put on the mud mats. And they're saying they have an extremely accurate cable counter and tension meter.
Oh,
All right.
sweet.
Nice.
What do they need a beacon for?
Yeah, I could tell them alternatively we could just pick it up and follow it down, but
Or at least, you know, we wouldn't even have to follow it down that if they're, you know, like they're saying their meter is very accurate. We could probably do it from a few hundred. We already are going to be off DVL. I mean, ideally we're minimizing that, but if we have to pick it up at some point.
If we came up 500 meters, for example,
500, yeah.
2,000 meters, then our wire angle would be 2.8.
but we're going to be watching the anchor like once that's down, and once they're moving away with the mud mat, I imagine they'll want like some kind of ping on the mud mat or the cable to ensure that their lay angle is correct.
That makes sense, yeah. That's the next step seems to require it more than
Yeah,
like
the
we can make
first
this
step,
work, yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Oh, they're using the beacon to get their layaway.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure if that's what they're using.
Probably, because they'll have to correct. And
Otherwise, it's just math, yeah.
Yeah. They could possibly ping the beacon on the marker for that purpose.
Yeah, because that should be close enough for anything like that.
Yeah. Maybe.
Like we're talking like a couple meters over 3 kilometers. That should be pretty good.
Yeah.
So we've confirmed that they've successfully pinged Hercules, and have they successfully pinged the beacon on the float?
Yeah, they got
Okay.
the anchor one as well.
Cool.
I think they got the node as well. I can't recall, but I didn't hear otherwise.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had, what, 2 of those batteries die, or just 1? Did we have 2 in a row?
It was just one. The second one, it
Yeah.
turns out, was because there wasn't power to it on the vehicle.
Oh yeah, we had air gap
so that one's still
attenuation issues
good.
on
It's
Hercules.
it's just out of the.
Right.
It needs to be recharged. Actually, I was going to talk to you about that.
Remind me of that embarrassment.
Oh yeah, Dan. Do you think? So currently our only way of charging those batteries is when they're installed in the beacon and you plug it in and charge it. Can we use wires to to hook it up and charge it?
Use wires.
That'd be cool.
It's a little. Need to know the specs on the battery.
Yeah.
But technically, the BMS and the beacon, the BMS and the battery management system and the battery, it will limit the max charge.
Okay.
So I do that quite a bit at home, but I wouldn't recommend it. So I do it in a controlled environment with a, fireproof enclosure for the batteries.
Be interested to see if that charges back up.
I don't leave them unattended while
Yeah.
I'm doing that. I'm like, they're right there on the bench while I'm doing something.
Sure. It's not a necessity. We could always just, eventually put it back into a beacon to charge, but.
Well, I do that to revive them, but I suspect what's going on with that one is the BMS is faulty, not the batteries inside it. And I forensicked a couple of those on.
Well, the dead one, yeah, but the one that just drained because it wasn't getting power, that one.
You just swapped the battery.
Yeah, I just swapped the battery on that one, so and I marked it as suspect, and I did a list, and now I'm like, oh, actually, it was never getting power to it, so it probably just drained. So I think that one, the dead one, I'm not really interested in trying to revive. I don't think if we can't do it.
No, if there's 0 output, that means the BMS is in there, and they're it's such a tight package. They're wrapped up in that metal thing. So it's bonded to the metal thing, and that's bonded to the battery. So once you take it apart, you can't.
Yeah, and the form factor of getting it in there is not really.
Yeah, I wouldn't put it back inside a beacon. Might use it to charge an LED or something like that. But
Okay, but then, so the one that we think might be okay, would we be able to, the plug that's coming out of it, would we be able to wire something up there, or would you rather?
yeah, I
Okay,
can
cool.
charge it up.
All right, we'll approach that on some later date.
Yeah, the cable innovator, the ONC staff just confirmed they can ping the node, they can ping the node beacon, the anchor beacon, and then they can ping the beacon at the ADCP at the other site.
Oh, wow.
From here, nice. Whenever they have it, the address for this spare beacon would be great, so I can set that up.
All right, I think they probably heard you, and I'll let you know.
I keep forgetting that.
What it is.
Thanks, everybody on Cable Innovator. Appreciate it.
How's the food over there on Cable Innovator?
Yeah. Want a food report?
Can't be better than ours.
Let me put a...
I'm loving our new chefs, guys. I gotta tell you.
Yeah, he's awesome, man.
Yeah, the food's been great.
Yeah. This is my third time out, and man, food, there's markedly improved quality this time for sure.
You've been on here 3 times, Brandon?
Yeah. It's my,
Hopefully the other chefs aren't listening.
yeah. I mean, everyone's equal, but these guys are just a little more equal than others.
I mean, the food is really good. I had heard good things, so. I just asked Mark, oh, the food's over there, but see if we get, oh, he's typing now.
I'll have a cook-off any day. I'll take our guys. Can ask them how they respond to those warm cookies being laid out, because the joy on this side of the ship, right? There's no way they have that happiness that we have.
Mark says it's pretty good, but not as good as Tully. I don't know if you've ever been on that one.
Oh, burn.
Megan agrees.
Tully's food? Yeah, it's like going into a fancy
It's hard to beat
restaurant.
the Tully food.
I haven't had the pleasure yet.
Hotel Tully?
Is that what they call it?
Nice.
Yeah, Dan, all 3 of my times at sea have been on the Nautilus, but all 3 of them are markedly different. Like no overlap, really.
Really?
It's off to a pretty killer start, I gotta say. Yeah, first one was ROV dive, second one was mapping, and now ONC is, I mean, really different.
Which ROV one were you on?
The first one ever was out of Johnston. So I flew into American Samoa.
Yeah.
And
What year was
back
that?
to Honolulu. 2019.
19.
Yeah.
I was on that.
Is
Yeah.
that when I got off? Or were you on here? It's all blows together.
Yeah, I don't remember, man. I'm not sure. It's too many.
I was just trying to quickly cheat here and look at my phone while sitting in the pilot seat, which is technically...
But I think we
breaking the
only
rules.
did like 8 dives over the course of 3 weeks or so, right? So
It's like a 10-day transit
Yeah.
alone, and then you have to transit between the sites that you're diving at. So yeah.
Oh, I got off in Samoa and then flew to American Samoa.
Well, that's kind of cool. I got the footage with the mud mat hanging.
Oh, cool. That was equator crossing for me too. So yeah, that one holds a special place.
Johnston, yeah, I remember that one going north. And then, was I on the mapping one you were on?
Yeah, right. What was that, 2 years ago, I guess? Yeah.
Yeah, I think I
That was
was.
Drix.
I was
Oh,
on that
okay.
one going south.
All right, Nico.
Remember the
I'm
Yeah,
gonna take
that
a
makes sense.
break for a while, so that we don't both sit here.
The Drix one. Okay, yeah. Tech. Not tech challenge. Would have been tech. Not tech demo. Would have been tech challenge. Yes.
Yeah, challenge is maybe not the worst word. I mean, definitely some challenges. It was, I
Yeah.
mean, really cool to see though, right? And to be.
That was Nui, Mesobot, and Drix.
No, just Drix that time.
Just
Yeah,
Drix.
The first tech challenge, the first year.
No, that was tech demo. Still had Nui. So just Drix. And I was there.
It was the second one out.
Hey, we see the beacon kind of going in. Is that what we're looking at on
And
the table?
the NOAA core people were on board with us. That's what it was. Yeah,
NOAA core. It's been on too many, man.
Yeah.
I think this is 71 or 72.
Really?
Not that I'm counting.
Again, I don't think that's possible, right?
You're gonna get
That's
triple
wild.
digits.
7.
What's that?
I don't think what they're asking here is possible.
No. No, because we don't have the rib on here.
First answer is always no, Nico.
What was that?
In the meeting yesterday, it's kind of a joke. It's an old Ropos ONC thing. The first answer is always no. Can you do before the sentence is even complete? No. Is that a ctenophore floating? No, a squid? Can't be a squid at this depth.
Yeah, we could be at the bottom looking at mud now.
That's a squid.
Something. Oh, it's a ctenophore, I think.
That's
yeah.
a ctenophore.
Isn't it?
Mid-water
Right.
action.
Yeah, do a little mid-water.
Oh, look,
Gotta light it up.
LEDs on.
Yeah. It's like just out of the light.
Yeah, you need the light to reflect off there.
Yeah, must be in
What do
too
you call
much.
those? Cilia? Huh, I gotta turn these on.
There you go. Some kind of ctenophore. It's cool. It's like spirally. Whoa. Nice.
You can turn the iris down just a little bit, Amber. All we'll be able to see is the reflections of it. Yeah, it'll look more glowy that way.
Yeah.
Could maybe zoom in just a little.
Nice. Float with it.
Yeah.
Cool.
You ready?
It's gonna come back.
That's what I'm saying.
It's got like a rifled shape.
So
to
they
its
they are
fullest.
struggling with their spare beacon as well. So I'm just asking if that first mud mat beacon is important for determining their lay angle, and I'm saying that we're willing to check in at probably around 1,000 meters and then follow it once it's closer to bottom. Is that confirmed with you guys in the front row?
At least 500.
Yeah, we can try at that depth. I think if we come up 500 meters, or you know what we could do, they could go down, we could go up, see where we meet.
With an unknown position,
So if
we might want to, yeah.
if you have a depth that you think you'd be able to pick it up, and then maybe another depth that you're willing to follow it from, if you could just let us know those, and we'll make sure those are okay with them. But they're thinking this is going to be acceptable.
Is 2,000 too deep for you? Do I hear 2,000?
I'll ask.
Once.
Would you follow from 2,000
Yeah,
down the
yeah.
remaining 6,000?
Yeah, once we get on it at 2,000. The issue is the shallower we go, the harder it is for us to pull the sled along with us. So we did some seat of the pants math here, as Randy pointed out.
So I'm saying, how about getting our sonar at 2,000 meters and then following the rest of the way?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
We'll get on the mud mat itself at 2,000 meters. That'd be easy for us to
we could
track
find
off. If we have to back off, we'll still have it in our sonar because of the big target.
And then we'll have our Paro and our known depth, so then we could back calculate how tall or how high off the seafloor the anchor is. Rather than track the anchor to the bottom, we could just be still staying with the mud mat if that makes everyone more comfortable.
And we can also, once we get a little closer, if they stop paying out, we could go down and have a peek at the anchor.
Yeah.
So they've
up.
confirmed that if we pick it up at 2,000 meters and attempt to follow it the rest of the way, they're happy with that.
Okay, and they're fine with the lay afterwards without the beacon?
Seemingly.
Okay, cool.
The one thing I don't want to do, Nico, is get underneath the mud mat around the anchor wire while they're paying out.
I think that's a great idea, yeah.
So I can see the mud mat from light years away. I'll be up above it, actually.
Yep.
So if we get in any trouble, you know, I'm not gonna. It's not
Yeah, and then again, we'll stop them at like well above anchor, you know, at least 50 meters off bottom, and then we'll do any of the inspections and have them, and then guide down from there.
Yeah, the 50 meters off bottom would be. At that point, we'll have DBL, so we have a little more control of the ROV and knowing where it is. So our comfort level's a little more up here if we're not relying on, like if I get lost or something, I'm not, you know, waiting on USBL pings. I have a real-time tracking from the DVL.
Okay, well, I see Josh here. Do you want to discuss that with him at all before I initiate this?
Sure. Yeah, Josh is good with that. All right. Yeah. perfect timing, of course.
Call that one last night, eh? So you'll be handing us when you just
Yeah, in the trades we call that milking it to shift change.
Sorry, I don't have you, Nico.
Yeah, so they've confirmed they're going to go down to 2,000 meters and then stop.
Cool.
Roger, and they're paying out at a kilometer an hour?
Kilometer per hour.
What's that work out to in a Nautilus speak?
1230.
1230, that'll be at 2,000 meters?
Yep.
Roger.
Kilometer an hour, it's 1030.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I
2
should be able to
kilometers.
figure that out. Yeah.
Right,
you.
Jake's looking at me like I'm just like got 2 heads.
I'm not,
Metric makes it easy.
Yeah.
I could if I was thinking. I'm tired.
No, it's fine. I just wanted,
I can't do
thought
math
I
in
was
my
crazy.
head. I have a mental block.
I only do foot pounds, so or
Yeah.
foot meters, whatever.
Pound meters.
Pound meters.
I only work in metric time.
A kilometer per hour, and they have to go 2 kilometers. Yeah, Dan, come on.
Get the trig calculator out. It's okay, I used the trig calculator last night too.
This should prove to kids at home listening that math is a very important subject, and you will use it in real life, not just in school. My youngest does, when am I going to use math, Dad? Why do I need to know this stuff?
Here's why I don't use the,
How long will it take you to get to the store?
You see that? That's the raw Atalanta position.
Right.
That's the filtered Atalanta position, just bouncing along. There's something wrong with the filter coming out of Sonarine, so I don't even use it anymore. I just raw everything because that's putting Atalanta over there for no reason, because all of the raw hits are in one spot, but the filter is busted.
Vulcan.
Yeah.
Needs an update.
Just, yeah. Just updated just about everything, so. It's a bug.
So, are you still there, Nico? So, or maybe I should ask you first, Rennie, just to double check. So, for us to come up 500 meters, 30 meters a minute, that's going to take
About 30 minutes.
30 minutes.
Right.
The question is do we want to come up while they're going down, or do we want them
20 minutes. 20 minutes.
Do we want them to come down to 2,000 and stop while we come up?
Because we're getting such good USBL pings, I don't think it should matter. Also, if you just come up here and they're dropping down there, you're fine. And then at some point you drive over.
We might as well go up now, yeah, if we're going to do this.
No, there's 2 hours.
Yeah.
It's going to be after. So that means at shift change,
Allow them to go up?
then they can come up. So we can hand them a static vehicle and we'll have time to explain what's going on.
It'll only take them 15 minutes to come up, and then I didn't note the time for you to get from here to here, but it really wasn't that long at the end of the day. So
that one has to fall under the operational comfort level of the pilots.
Yeah.
So yeah, what I was getting at is, can we get away with standing by here till so we can hand it over to the other crew and have time
I think so.
get a good handover, and then they can make the decision on what they want to do. So they're not committed to something they're uncomfortable with.
Yeah, seems right, because it'll be...
Well, they'll have time to talk it through like we did, right? We've had an hour to think about it.
Yeah.
I might bug out a little early to catch them down there. Or you can. Let us know what's
You
going
can
on.
head off early. Just sitting here.
It's always challenging when you talk about something the day before and you walk into the control room and it's, what? Subject to change without notice. So are they paying out now, Nico?
They are indeed at 1 kilometer per hour.
Roger. But can we make a note in the log when they started there?
I made, oh, your
Just
log,
kind of
sorry.
a little summary of what we talked about there. So. At some point we might go back and look at this stuff.
Nico, what was their trouble with the spare beacon?
They couldn't reach it with the eye wand. So obviously
like
when they can connect, it's tough when we like connect to it. And obviously you're not charging the batteries, you're using external power.
Yeah.
So maybe the batteries are just absolutely pooched.
Seems like there's a fleet-wide overhaul.
Yeah, they're all aging at the same time or something.
Yeah.
I don't know, this seems a little suspect. I wonder if the configurations got changed during our March expedition. And like these are all the ones that we used on that.
Maybe. I mean, I didn't try to auto-discover and on the off chance that it has a different address. I mean, something can be written on the side of it.
Johan tried that earlier on one of the ones we couldn't pick up and didn't
Nothing,
get it.
yeah.
Nothing.
Okay, so it's unlikely that it's that. I mean, you would have to change the address from the one that's emblazoned on the side of the beacon without taping over that.
Yeah, and all the ones
That doesn't seem
I
like something you would
connected
do.
to with the like serial cable did come up with the appropriate address on
Okay,
them.
then
so,
that answers that question.
But
yeah.
I only saw like one of those. We were just kind of charging the other ones. Yeah, I don't know if maybe their depth settings got changed or.
Yeah, but even as shallow as they were,
we'd be able to pick it up at 100 meters, right?
So it seems to me like maybe the battery's reading as charged, but it's not actually.
But it's toast.
And like Dan said, there's been a couple